in the garage, not so much working on the Countach project because I'm going to be taking a week off because we just finished a lot of the body work, but just kind of going over it, seeing what needs to be done when we come back and touch up all the minor flaws that have surfaced on the body. So let's go ahead and get started. For starters, we're going to be doing a lot of focus of our attention here on this front passenger fender. This is the one that had the fire damage earlier on if you've been following these episodes. I did a lot of body work to it already. We got it, pretty much all the damage is gone, but there's a lot of surface flaws coming through that are going to need to be addressed. So let's go ahead and get a close-up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And you can see right here going over the wheel, just some surface flaws coming through, some cracks and scratches. A lot of body filler was done here, probably has to be touched up as well. Then we have a little bit right here, a little bit of a reaction to the primer, so I need to sand that down all the way, see what's up. Got some flaws here that need to be filled, some peeling going on here. And then as we come around here, you can see it again, just some scratches and stuff coming through. I don't know what's causing that because this was all sanded down to the bare fiberglass. Now it was rebuilt with body filler, so something's going on there. So got all that there that needs to be taken care of. Now here on the front end, and this is the last part of the car, if you've been following, this is the last part that I had prepped and primed. This here actually is very good. Some very, very minor stuff here. Again, because of being part of this fender, looks like some little surface scratches coming through there and here that needs to be filled. Other than that, it looks really good. Up here is perfect, around here is perfect. Across this grill area here, where we did a lot of modifications last time, it actually turned out really good. There are some surface areas here, and we'll get a close-up. It looks like it could be cracking on the surface of the finish, so I just need to make sure that it's not going all the way through where we need to rebuild it with resin, the fiberglass under here. So I'll get a close-up of that for you in a second. And then, other than that, I mean, there's a couple real minor little flaws that just need to be patched up, nothing major. So I'm actually pretty impressed with that. But let's get a close-up of these cracks for you. You can see right here, there's coming through. I tried to sand them down, but it looks like they're going beyond the finish. So I need to take a look at that. We also have right up in here, same thing. Some cracks coming this way, little corner scratches like that. In here, got to see what that is as well because it's coming along with this crack. So I need to make sure that that fiberglass doesn't need to be redone like we did on the passenger front fender earlier on, where we'll get behind it and just rebuild the structure of it with some resin and fiber cloth. So we'll be taking a look at that as well. Okay, and then now we have the windshield here, and this windshield actually is in excellent condition. Looks great, especially now with this lighter color against it. It's really looking really good. However, the size of it is not completely accurate. It should be approximately about 1.5 inches wider on each side, and then coming down maybe about 1 inch all around. I was going to go ahead and just get another windshield made because I do have the template of a real Countach LP400 and LP400S, the older windshield. So I have that exact template with the exact measurements. So I was going to have it remade, but to be honest with the cost and stuff, it's just not worth it right now because this windshield's in perfect shape. So what we're going to do is when we put the black molding, the seal that goes around the edging of the windshield, we're just going to go a little bit wider to kind of compensate and to bring that dimension back. And then at a later time, probably go ahead and have one made, and then we'll just cut into the body a little bit because it needs to set over these pillars and not within it like they have it. So the actual visibility from the inside is correct, it's just the outside. I guess to save cost they did this, I don't know. So at a later time, we're probably going to route that right dimension out and get the windshield properly made. Also, and I'll get a close-up, this windshield is completely flat, which the real Countach, the windshield was pretty much flat, but it had a very, very slight rounding on the edges, so that way it wasn't solid flat like this one is. Not a big issue, but it's still not accurate. So at a later date, when we get the new windshield made, we'll have that slight curve put on the edges. But right now, here, let me get a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about with this windshield. And here you can see it. When you come completely here on the side, it's completely flat.
where on the real Countach, even though it was flat, it had a slight roundness to it right there. So it wasn't just like a flat piece of paper. And here's a picture of one so you can see it.
All right, and then we have right along here, there's actually not a lot that has to be done. This actually is pretty good. There's a little ding right here, and I think there's a little imperfection right there where the scissor door hinge goes. I don't know if I'm going to worry about that because the hinge covers that. But this little ding right here, and I'll show you that, that has to be done. And then as far as around this door area, there's really not much. That turned out really good. So then coming back here,
and here you can see it right here. There was actually a really bad chip right there that I had filled, but I don't know what happened there. I don't know if an air bubble got in there or what, but we just need to touch that up and fix that. And then I don't know if you remember, if you've been following this, but we had that real big area right here where the fiberglass molding had just completely cracked, and I had to pretty much rip it out, refill it with resin. You can see right there, you can't even see it. This is perfect. So that turned out excellent. So once we take care of that, then I think for the passenger side, unless we see some other minor flaws when we're going over it, that's pretty much it.
okay, now moving here to the back, there's a lot that has to be done. I think it's because this is where a lot of work was done when we rebuilt this. So right here where it's blended, just very, very minor. So I think maybe just sanding it with a very high grit sandpaper, like maybe 400, even wet sanding it, may take care of it, but we're going to focus some attention on that to blend it real good. Same along here as well, and then on the inside, there's some little flaws around in here that need to be done. This all here looks good. I patched up some spots in here, so that just needs to be sanded smooth, not a big deal. And then under here, just some real little things in there, nothing major. And I think then this back end is good, but I'll get a close-up of this for you.
And you can see right there where this bump out was added, a little bit coming through there. So we're going to focus on that. And it's pretty much all along this line. And then there's some bad spots right there. So all that's we're going to go over it, take some body filler, some really fine sandpaper, get that nice and smooth. And then here on the inside. Then here on the inside, just some little flaws, a little bit of peeling right there that needs to be taken care of. And then that should take care of everything.
All right, let's head around here to the driver's side, which there's not a lot on this either, because that front fender was actually perfect. So that turned out fine. All the side turned out fine. However, the lower side skirt, if you remember in the previous video, we had that weird reaction where the primer was just kind of reacting strange and all cracking up. So all that's going to have to be stripped all the way down and redone. And then other than that, we're good. There were some, well, actually, I forgot. There's a crack right here coming through, and I'll get a close-up. So we need to find out if that's going all the way through or if it's just surface. But that needs to be corrected. And then I think we're good on this whole side here. But we'll go over it as we're going over the vehicle and make sure. But here's a close-up of that crack.
Here's the crack. It starts pretty much right around the top side of this rear vent, and then it just kind of resurfaces all the way back here. So we're going to have to possibly get under here and make sure that it's not going all the way through, and then get that fixed if it is structural, and then we'll take some body filler, smooth that out, and then that pretty much takes care of this rear fender.
All right, well, that's pretty much it. There's a little bit on the roof and just some small stuff. Back here where we added this piece right here around the back window, just kind of blending that a little bit better. So just things like that. But that's what we're going to be focusing on. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to take a week off, take a little break because we're at a stopping point here. So when I come back, we're going to go over the whole car, hitting all those areas as well as anything else that may surface. Get all that blended real good, all that touched up with some primer filler. Make sure that's good. Once the whole car looks perfect, then we're going to go ahead and put one whole top coat of just plain white primer over the whole car. And then that'll pretty much be its condition until the springtime when we paint it. During the time through the winter, we'll then be working on the idling issue with the car idling at too high of an RPM. We know what the problem is, so we're going to go ahead and fix that. Then we're also going to focus on replacing the tires, especially the front ones since they're completely dry rotted, refinishing the rims, and when we do the tires, we'll put the right size on there, so we have the wider tires on the back, the lower profile all around, because right now the car is about maybe a ½ inch to an inch higher than it should be. It's around, I think, 42.5 to 43 inches. It should be around 41.5 inches high. So that'll take that down when we put the right profile on there. We'll also be going through the suspension, the tie rods, inner and outer, the upper and lower control arms, the ball joints. We'll be looking at the calipers because I'm going to refinish them. The rotors actually look excellent. They just need to be just kind of resurfaced because they get some surface rust, so we'll clean that up. Replacing the brake pads, draining the brake fluid out of there. We'll take care of that. And then it looks like the coil springs and shocks and all that, it looks like all of them are fine, but we'll check them as well. So we'll be going full detail over the suspension. Looks like the alignment could be out of whack, but we'll take a look at that as well. So that'll all be done during the winter. Springtime comes. Hopefully all that'll be taken care of. We can get into the painting. We're going to do some very thick clear coat and hardener on it as well, so the finish will have a beautiful, nice mirrored finish, real smooth. And hopefully that'll take care of it. And then we can be done with this thing and get that out of here. So that wraps up this time here. I just wanted to kind of fill everyone in as far as what's left for completing this body work. So I hope this video was enjoyable. Please send me any questions, any comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate all the support. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'll see you next time.